asked a question about if I felt like over the last few months, I had been a good wife to him. And long story short, he basically felt that he was coming in second or third to career stuff that we were doing, podcast stuff we're doing, even to the kids,
Baby, you don't know what you do to me. Between me and you, I feel a chemistry. I won't let no one come and take your place. Cause the love you give, it can't be replaced. See, no one else can do what you do. That's why I'm mine. Spend my life with you. I wanna please you in any way I can. I wanna share my world. Don't you wanna stay?
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Karina and Amber. We are your co-hosts for Damn Perspectives, Dating and Marriage Perspectives. Damn good to the last word. We're happy to be here with you today. So the day that we're recording this, it's December 24th. So happy holidays, everyone. You won't see this for several more weeks, but we're in the moment. Summertime, by the time we get it out. We're in the moment. We are where we are. And super excited that Amber is right next to me.
Yay.
One more time, another time. So we're loving being in the same city and doing our recording. So before we dive into our topic, you saw Amber going like this. There's nobody down there.
It's over here somewhere.
Giving instructions or anything. Anyway, like, subscribe, and comment on our show down below. We want to hear from you, and we want you to keep up with what we're doing. So do follow us on our social media platforms. So, let's just be honest. Like, me and you are sitting here, we're like, what are we going to talk about? Right. And we're debating, we're kind of going back and forth between two topics. But I think
Tell us too. One's coming to you soon.
Right. So one of them is the size matter. I mean, that's it. And the other one is what have we learned from people around us, our family, whatever?
I was like, do you have Ring here? Or Amazon. You must have had an Amazon package.
I was waiting for her to say something. I'm not going to say the name because then she'll start talking. Anyway, so the other topic is what do we learn from people around us that we bring into our relationship? And that's a big topic, I think. I wonder how we can kind of narrow this down because we try to have our shows within 30, 35 minutes. But this is also motivated by some text messages between my brothers who were talking about feelings and expectations and kind of like our relationships 50-50 and how do they come up to be 50-50 in relationships.
We may just switch the topic and talk about that.
You want to do that?
Yeah. Sounds good too. There's a lot to dive into.
There's a lot to dive into. This might be part 1 of 20. Because this stuff is really layered.
It is.
It really is. And
it is.
I keep going, and maybe you can expand my repertoire or my perspective on this, because I keep going back to how we're just socially constructed to think what we're supposed to do as women, how we contribute to a relationship as women. And the same thing for men, how men are supposed to support the family, support the wife, or their spouse, just to be inclusive, and what that looks like. And whether or not people are open to just kind of shift, like it doesn't always have to be like, because
50-50.
because shit's gonna happen, right?
Yeah.
Right? Like your spouse might be sick for like a week or two.
Yeah.
And they can't do the laundry. They can't clean. They can't go to work. So you're on, right? Like your partner is on doing it all. So it's not always going to be 50-50.
Right. That's interesting you say that because years ago when we first started, my husband and I first started, we were married, and I think he got sick. And I was just besides myself, like, how could you possibly get sick? What am I supposed to be doing here? It's not 50-50. So I called my mom, who very much, calms me down and, tells me like the truth. She's not going to lie to me. She's not going to be bullshitting me at all, which I really appreciate. So she said, sometimes your relationship is going to be 70-30. It's not always going to be 50-50. Sometimes it's going to be 30-70. So if you're not feeling well, or if you're sick, sometimes he'll pick up the slack. So it's interesting. I'm glad we're talking about this subject, because it's real.
Yeah. Okay. So before we get into, I think it makes sense. If somebody's not feeling well, they can't be there. They're not their full self to help around the house. But both of you are well, right? No one's sick. Everybody can walk. Everyone's aware, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So no one's sick. What does 50-50 look like? And when does it become, I don't know, 70-30, like you said, 60-40?
Well, it becomes 70-30. 50-50 looks like, okay, split chores, right?
Okay.
Everybody is taking care of the house equally, right? So maybe I'm doing the laundry, not folding it yet, because we wait about 2 weeks to fold the laundry. But y'all know where the clean laundry is. But then you do the dishes, right? Or I cook, and somebody else cleans, or somebody cleans the table. It's just more equal. Or somebody takes out the trash. It's just a nice equal part. Listen, if you are not sick, that is one thing. Yeah, I don't know what that is. It's something my husband and I have a little bit of beef about too. But I feel like if there's a woman in the house, you take out the trash. So for my boys, if there's a woman in the house, like we're at my mom's house, and since my dad's passed, she takes care of all the stuff of the house. It's not that I'm incapable of taking the trash, but I will say, like, I don't feel like my mom should have to take out the trash. I don't feel like I should have to take out the trash. That's just how I feel. So yeah. What was your other question? When does it become 70-30?
Yeah, when does it become 70-30? When everybody's well.
When I'm over here doing a podcast. Oh,
okay.
Right. When there's other things that your spouse or your significant other wants to do in life that revolve outside of the family. That's a good, like, B knew I was coming over here, so he took the kids out. He took the kids out to watch airplanes. They're going to go to lunch, and they're going to do some other things. So that's just one particular time in our relationship. If he wants to go and hang out with his friends, because he hasn't had a lot of time, or if he wants to go do karaoke or whatever, then it can also shift.
So how does that roll into motion? So you have a podcast to record, or maybe he has an outing with a friend, let's say 2-3 days. Does he or you, do you prepare in those 2 days? Do you do things?
It's working like that.
Those things. Like, do you plan this? Like, do you do things to, I guess, make the outing more legitimate, or make the podcasting recording more legitimate? Like, I've done this in the last 2 days, so I'm able to do this. Like, do you negotiate, or how do you negotiate in advance so that you can do your podcasting and he can go out with his friends?
Well, usually we do our podcasting. There's not much negotiation really, because it's, if you want to do something, go do it. Go take your time,
okay,
and do it. And it works vice versa. Like, I'm not gonna go hang out. Go, you do a lot for the family. Go hang out. Go have fun. So
it doesn't have to be planned. Like, if like, it just came up, his friends call, and says, hey, you want to go golfing in 30 minutes? It just,
I mean, if I don't have a podcast or something work related, like, this is fun, right? Like, but if I have like career stuff that I need to get done, which actually I kind of would consider this not like our career, but you know what I mean? Fun stuff, like something that we're doing together.
Yeah, it's work too.
Yeah, it is work, right? Yeah. Because it's Saturday morning, y'all. Okay, on Christmas Eve. So
so merry.
Yeah. We don't really like bust each other's balls about that at all. It's like, go if you need to go do something, go do it. And we don't really, I think early on in our relationship, it probably would have been an issue. But now it's like, go do what you have to go do, and we'll take care of it. The other person will take care of it. And I will say, because of like career stuff and this work and other stuff, he probably does more, let's say 51 to 49.
A little credit.
Yeah, exactly. 51 to 49. We'll say that.
Of like just doing stuff around the house, or what do you mean, like 51, 49?
Just, but he does really get the opportunity to spend more time with the boys than I do. And in that case, it's definitely more than 51 to 49.
Yeah.
But also his career allows that to happen too. So
The flexibility is career. Okay.
yes.
So some of the things that came out of the text messages with my brothers, and maybe we can read them on, because
I would love
I don't want to put words in their mouth, but one of the things that came out of the text messages is just expressing their feelings towards something, or there's a rule in the house that they came to agreement at some point and they don't agree with it much, or there's not much flexibility behind it, or whatever. Now feel free to say no. I wonder if you wouldn't mind sharing as much as you can,
sure.
the most recent conversation you had with your hubby, because you were like, oh, this just came up with me and my hubby.
This exact damn thing just came up. And let me just first set the stage. Okay. So if you're going to ask your wife to dinner, don't talk to her and she thinks it's going to be a really nice date because you're going to get some time alone. That is probably not the time to talk to her about issues that you have with her, right? If she's thinking, oh, I'm going to get some time with you and we're just going to do this, do it on the drive there or something before you even get there. But we just had this scenario, and B asked a question about if I felt like over the last few months, I had been a good wife to him. And long story short, he basically felt that he was coming in second or third to career stuff that we were doing, podcast stuff we're doing, even to the kids, and we've been traveling a lot. So he felt that he was coming behind, which is very possible that he was. And so I have no problem. For me, if you think I'm doing if you have an issue with me, I have no problem with you telling me that. I prefer it instead of holding on. But also in that conversation came things that happened, 3-4 months ago. And I don't, I'm the kind of person, I like to address things right then, right now. If you come to me later and I think this issue's already been squashed, then that's going to be a little bit more, going to take me up a little bit higher.
Yeah.
So we're fine.
Yeah.
It's just, I guess I wish the setting would have been a little bit different. I mean, you could have made dinner at home and, we could have had the conversation, or we could have just talked about it before dinner. But is timing everything? Yes. And I'm not playing on that.
Timing matters.
Timing matters.
But what comes up for me is, timing has a role in it.
Yeah.
It's the delivery, the setting. I like when you said setting, and delivery of it, because this reminds me of my trip when I went to Mexico, thinking I was gonna relax and reconnect with my guy. You were thinking, I'm having dinner with my husband.
Yes.
It's the date night.
Yes.
The kids are not around.
Yep.
It's already hard for them to get together without,
Right.
having somebody to watch their kids and all this. So it was a gift
Yes.
that you're in town. People can watch your kids and
Yeah.
you're spending time with your husband
Right.
over dinner, and he drops the bomb, so to speak.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. So definitely shifts things.
I'm not saying that I'm the easiest person to come and, say you're doing this wrong, you're doing that wrong, because it's going to take a lot. You better come up with a lot of motherfucking references. Okay. But
Citation.
I don't mind looking in at myself and being like, okay, maybe I could do this differently, or maybe I could do that. Or yeah, maybe you're right. And this is why. So maybe I'll, thanks for letting me know.
Yeah.
I don't mind that. It's just, like you said, if I think I'm coming to a nice dinner and we go chill and drink and enjoy each other, well, tell me on the way.
Yeah. Or earlier.
Or earlier. Exactly. And don't hold it in. And I know everybody deals with things differently. And, I'm the kind of person, I just like, let me get it out, say what I have to say, and I can be good.
Yeah.
So
what was it like for him to ask you, correct me if I'm wrong, did he ask, are you being a good wife?
Yeah, in so many words, like, no, well, do you think that you have been a good wife?
Okay.
Lately, his issue has really been the last 2 months, and there's been, in my opinion, a whole bunch of shit going on that not between him and I, just
activities.
Like activities.
Yeah, traveling,
Yes.
people were sick.
Yes.
Back and forth.
Yes.
Yes. All of that.
So, men, we certainly don't mean to put you guys in second or third, but there are times that, especially in a marriage and a relationship, that there may be other things that happen to come ahead of you, ahead of your needs, and vice versa.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like there are times that, I'm sure men are stressed out at work. They have to, deal with things at home. They got their own personal problems. So maybe they didn't set, women, but it is important to have the conversation. Don't wait 3 months to have it.
Yeah.
Because then shit just piles on.
Yeah. And that's one of the things that the two of you are working on, is like you're a more direct person. He's kind of like me. I kind of sit on things for a little bit, reflect. I'm like, okay, what is really happening? I've gotten a little bit better. I used to wait like a month and 2 months. I'd be like, remember when?
Oh my God.
No, I don't.
Exactly.
Realize it's not fair.
Sorry.
To my person.
Right.
To pile on stuff that happened a month, 2 months ago, and then have a conversation with him about that, because I'm just not going to get the best response.
Yeah, well, why do you think wait that long? Like, if something is bothering you, and you want it fixed, are you just trying to see if it'll get fixed? Like, what is taking you so long?
Well, so that was a while ago. Like I don't do that anymore. And you remember me in, was this my 20s, early 30s, where I don't like to rock the boat, right?
Yeah.
I put other people's feelings before mine.
Yeah.
It's not a big deal, so I minimize the thing. And then when I realize it's still just bothering me, or other things have happened and I keep going back to an earlier issue, I'm like, okay, clearly I can't just wait too long to talk to my guy about it, and then expect him to actually be able to talk to me about something that he thought wasn't a big deal or not an issue at all.
Right.
And it is for me. It just doesn't work. It just doesn't work that way. So I've learned that about myself. And I don't do that or wait as long anymore.
Doesn't it feel good though, just to like get it off your chest right away, to be like, fuck. I mean, I know at some point you have to realize, what's really important, which is true. I get that, maybe it wasn't a big deal, but if it's bothering you, just.
Yeah, no, you're totally right. I do my couch talk.
Yeah.
I guess it's the main thing I learned when I was going to therapy, like 4 or 5 years ago. Have couch talk with my partner and clarify and clear some things out. But yeah, no, it's not a fun conversation, but it needs to be, it needs to be had.
Yeah. See, our therapist, she told me to write shit down first before I speak. We're work in progress.
Exactly.
Work in progress.
We're not perfect. We're just a work in progress.
I wish you could see my writing sometimes. It's like fucking bitch, motherfucking shit. It would be all bleeped out.
It's out, it's on paper.
Yes.
Somebody else is not getting it.
Right, see, and I want you to feel how I felt at the time, so you know how serious this is.
I hear you.
Oh
My goodness. Okay, so you know me, I consider people's feelings. So with what you read from my brothers,
Mhm.
right? So I share the text messages with Amber, so
I got to
she's got
see you guys.
yeah, she got the context of everything. So a lot of feelings are being shared, and then your husband shared his feelings.
Mhm.
Do you validate his feelings? Is he on point with what he's sharing? Like what are your thoughts? Like,
Well, first, I think Mercury must be in retro because it seems like all the men are having this feeling at this time of year, which is really interesting. I do validate some of the feelings for sure, right? Because like you said, that's their perspective. They're seeing it from their perspectives and
yeah.
stuff. And some of the stuff though, I wish they would give us permission to talk about some of their lines. Like you said, I think it'd be a good idea to have them on.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of things that I think men think we do purposely, or I think I read in there that it's like ingrained in us, not to that, not, I don't think they said ingrained, but some of the stuff, yes, some of the stuff I was like, I was reading it, nope, that's not true, that's not, Did I answer your question?
Yeah, yes,
Okay, so I'm trying not to give away what.
yeah, absolutely. No, yeah, I asked, if you validate, the things that you read here. So some things you agree, some things you disagree with.
Yes,
Particularly with your husband, like,
right.
do you validate where he's at with what he's needing from you?
Yes and no. Yes and no. Like I was sharing with you, what are the issues that you're really having? I know one of the big issues that you've said. So fine. Okay, yeah, maybe things haven't been as much as you would like. That's fine. Okay, I'll give you that. But some of the other stuff, like, like I said, he bought something up that happened literally like 6 months ago, maybe even longer than that. And no, it wasn't 6 months ago. I'm sorry. It was in August.
Okay.
Maybe 3 months ago. But I actually had already apologized about it. So if you get an apology out of me, it's me telling you that I was wrong. So, I don't think that I should have to bring it up again. I don't think you need to bring it up again, especially, I mean, maybe you're not over it, but I forgot about it. So yes, some of the stuff is valid, but some of the stuff is not, but it's his feelings. So I can't, like, and I told him, well, I don't want you to change. Well, not that I don't want you to change how you feel. I can't help how you feel.
Right.
But you also know this is me. I'm also, ambitious, and this is who you married.
Yeah.
So
I'm such a feeling person.
Yeah.
I know.
I have feelings.
Oh, you don't have feelings.
I have feelings, but I also have, directness. That was something, sometimes he'll say, well, you're not telling me, you're not what did he say? Sometimes it's like, well, I want to know why. And I'm like, well, I just told you why. And I'm very direct in my why. You don't even have to keep asking, maybe just search within to hear, to maybe listen, to hear why I'm saying what I'm saying. Because I don't mind being introspective. I'm actually the older I've gotten, I actually like, look, well, why is that? Why did I do that? Or something like that. But if I'm doing it, I expect the same.
Ooh, yeah. And I think that's part of the issue with couples.
Yeah.
Is that one or neither will do the introspection and the reflection.
Yeah.
And then the other, it just might look different. Or they don't do it at all, or? Yeah,
Yeah, or if I apologize for something, I feel like I actually really apologize, but I want you to really apologize too. Like if I don't want to hear anything like, okay, yeah, I was wrong, sorry, like not a big deal, because that's not how I apologize. If I'm wrong, like I feel like it comes from a place
yeah.
of like, I fucked up.
And it's hard, I think, for you, if I
Sure.
think it's right, to admit that you're wrong. I think it's hard for any person to admit that it's wrong, because at least for me, I think people get into these conversations. I don't want to call them arguments, but sometimes they're arguments. But people get into these conversations to see who's going to win.
I like to win and I'm competitive, but I really, it's not hard. It actually is not hard for me to say, I'm sorry but you don't have to have a whole proof. Like, I'm not just going to say, oh yeah, I'm sorry for anything that,
Yeah.
comes at me. I just tell me where I was wrong. I'll make sure that it's right,
Yeah.
have the data to back it up. The analytics, and then I'm like, oh, okay, I was a fucking asshole. Okay, I fucked up. Right? Which is interesting because my mom does help me out a lot with that. I mean, if we're in a tiff or an argument or something like that, and I will usually ask my mom, was I wrong?
How does she help you do that?
She just tells me, well, yeah, you were, or, well, it could have been, construed a different way, but
Okay.
she's very upfront. She's like, Amber, you're not gonna like this, but you were wrong. And then I'm like, damn.
Well, you're just like your mom.
I'm very much
like your mom.
Very much.
Yeah.
But see, you couldn't tell her shit if she was wrong. Let me tell you that right now. You talk about needing to know the facts of the whole trial.
She will read a whole contract.
She
before
will.
She signs it.
Yes.
I
Yeah.
have seen her do it.
Don't play.
She will circle words and like, what does that mean?
Yes.
And how does
Yep.
that impact me?
That's exactly correct.
Yeah. Yeah.
You've known us for a long time. Yep. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, she'll make sure she has the facts, but yeah. And it's good. I think that's good. And that's how, when you and I talk, you're gonna get the truth. And it's hard to sugarcoat it. Like, mom doesn't really sugarcoat it. That's how I used to talk with you, but I've gotten better.
Yeah.
20
years.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy.
It's a long time.
I love you.
I love you too.
Anyways, what were we talking about?
We're just talking.
50,
I mean,
50?
really, yeah, 50-50, 70-30, people get together, and I'm really glad we're focusing on marriage too. And people get together, and my brothers continue to learn how to communicate, what to communicate, when to communicate with their wives.
Yeah.
And kind of hoping for a response that validates them as a person and validates their feelings. I mean, that's what I read.
Yeah.
In their text messages, and they're all talking the same language, but it's showing up differently in each relationship.
Yeah.
And so I just think that's really interesting. And I really do think that we're on this earth. We've learned certain things from people and we bring it to our relationship, and then we've done it or have learned it for such a long time that it's hard to get out of it.
Yes. And one other thing, I want to say this was probably Michelle Obama who said this too, but like, people don't fight for their relationships anymore. It's like, as soon as things are bad or whatnot, let's say it's 70-30, right? Then people quit. And that is not an option for me. I mean, it would take a lot to not be in the relationship. So even if it is 70-30 and it's feeling like that for a little bit, communicate, right?
Yeah.
And try to make it work just because it's try and make it work. Look at the long haul. Because when you see people who are married for 40, 50 years, they always say, because I always ask too, they always say it's compromise. Like
But you really have to compromise.
You do.
too, right? Like
You do.
sometimes your partner might, I don't know, I guess fight with you and then not and then not. I don't know. It's a back and forth, and it's not, maybe you're in the fight by yourself for too long. And maybe that's the point
Mhm.
where people are like, you know what, I'm tired.
Yeah. But people nowadays seem like they, oh, we they get in an argument, so they're done. And I don't think that's worth giving up. If
I don't either.
No,
I think that's where you learn more about yourself.
yeah.
It's the it's the Cinderella and Snow White, happy ending that we've been, accustomed to.
Go
like
back to that
everything-
episode.
They live happily. Well, no, it's not happily ever after. There's
Right.
gonna be some moments where you just want to kick your partner in the face.
Punch him in the throat. Yeah.
But it's coming from a place of love.
Yes, for
And,
sure.
you get into a tip, you learn about yourself,
Yep.
yourselves as a couple, and you try to move on from it.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's
Yeah.
so funny that we just brought up one of our very
I
first
know.
episodes.
Well, see, like our very first episodes were really kind of the foundation for a lot of
Comes back around.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I like this episode. I'm sure there's going to be more topics around it, and it'd be really nice to have your brothers
Yeah, I
And
would
then-
love to bring my brothers into here, and if not,
and their wives.
it would be good.
Well, maybe not their wives first, so they can, talk about how they feel,
Sure.
and then the wives can come on, and we can do a whole separate one with the wives and be like, "Oh no, motherfuckers,
We
this is
could.
what-" Like,
We'll put out the invitation and see
Oh,
what
that
they
would be
say.
really
I know
good.
for sure one of my brothers will definitely be on this.
well, I already know who it's gonna be.
I know exactly.
Mhm. Actually, watch his episode right here. too.
Oh yeah. 90-day rule.
Yes. All right, you guys, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for listening. Make sure that you share this episode. You can click the like button right down here or right down here. It'll be around. But share us out. Dan Perspectives. Thanks so much. Have a great day. Bye.
Bye.